People often ask me how I manage so many companies at once, Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, the Boring Company, and how I deal with the pressure, the failures, and the impossible goals. The truth is, it's not magic. It's not some superhuman gift. It's just work, a lot of it. Relentless, painful, exhausting work. And today, I want to tell you the real story. My story. Growing up in South Africa, I wasn't the kid everyone liked. I was small, introverted, and frankly, an easy target for bullies. Books were my escape. I read everything: physics, engineering, science fiction. I didn't just want to imagine new worlds, I wanted to build them. When I was 12, I created a video game called Blastar and sold it for $500. It wasn't about the money. It was about proving to myself that I could create something out of nothing just by working hard and teaching myself what I needed to know. That was my first taste of what effort could create. When I moved to America, I had a simple dream: to make an impact. I knew it wouldn't happen by working a normal 9 to 5. So when I started my first company, Zip2, I worked 7 days a week. I didn't even have an apartment. I slept in the office on a beanbag next to my desk. I would wake up, code, shower at the YMCA, then code again, day after day, night after night. Why? Because I knew that if I worked 100 hours a week and everyone else worked 40, I would accomplish in 4 months what would take them a year. It's simple math, but it's brutally hard in reality. When people think about success, they imagine glamorous boardrooms and million-dollar deals. They don't see the nights you spend sleeping under your desk because you're trying to fix a bug at 3 a.m. They don't see you drinking cold coffee just to stay awake for a 20-hour shift. They don't see you staring at a problem for days, refusing to quit. When I founded SpaceX, people said I was crazy. You can't build rockets. You're not even an aerospace engineer. I heard it 1,000 times. But you see, I didn't accept that. Instead, I buried myself in textbooks, spoke to every expert I could find, and spent hour after hour learning everything about rockets, propulsion, orbital mechanics, everything. And then we started building and failing. Our first 3 rockets, all of them exploded, millions of dollars, years of effort gone in seconds. People were laughing at us. Investors were fleeing. SpaceX was a joke to them. But giving up wasn't even an option. I invested every last dollar I had from PayPal. I had to borrow money to pay my rent. I was working 18 to 20 hours a day, living and breathing rockets. Not because it was comfortable, but because it was necessary. On our 4th attempt, when failure would have meant bankruptcy, we finally succeeded. Our rocket reached orbit. That launch saved SpaceX. That launch proved that hard work, insane work, can make the impossible possible. You might think I learned my lesson that I'd slow down, enjoy the success. I didn't. When Tesla was ramping up production for the Model 3, we entered what I called production hell. The company was bleeding money. We were weeks away from bankruptcy. Everyone said it was over. So I moved into the Tesla factory. I didn't just visit, I lived there. I slept on a couch in a conference room, sometimes directly on the floor. No showers, no luxury, just work. 120 hours a week, sleeping under my desk while machines clanked and whirred around me. Why? Because when things go wrong, you can't just delegate problems. You have to be there, on the ground, facing them yourself. There were nights I thought I was losing my mind, nights when the exhaustion was so deep that it felt like my bones hurt. But I kept pushing, because the mission, a sustainable future for humanity, was bigger than my comfort. There's something else you should know. I'm not the smartest person. I'm not the most talented engineer. There are lots of people smarter than me. But what I do have, and what you need if you want to achieve something extraordinary, is an insane work ethic and a deep commitment to never giving up. The simple truth is, nobody ever changed the world on 40 hours a week. If you want to make a real difference, you have to work like your life depends on it. Because sometimes it actually does. When you're exhausted, when you've failed for the 10th time, when you feel like your body and mind are breaking, that's when you find out what you're made of. That's when you separate dreamers from doers. Today, people see the success, the cars, the rockets, the headlines, but they don't see the cost. They don't see the nights spent solving impossible problems, the years of failure, the personal sacrifices. I've missed birthdays, holidays, relationships. I've faced ridicule, doubt, and soul-crushing pressure. But every sacrifice was worth it, because in the end, the future isn't built by those who work when it's easy. It's built by those who keep working